Welcome back to My Child and Autism online module. In this video, we're going to look at what autism is, at understanding autism for your child and family, your influence as a parent, and we'll introduce Janie, who will help us with this exploration. As a parent, you are the number one influencer for your child. You're also a big part of the early intervention team. No one knows your child better than you do. You're your child's number one advocate and their number one source of love and strength and understanding. As for all children, there are the ups and downs of parenting. There's some trial and error, but over time you're supporting your child to be the best person that they can be. One of my favourite sayings about autism is that autism is an ability from a different perspective. If you can partner with your child and see the world from their perspective, then it makes parenting a child on the spectrum easier for you as a parent. Celebrate their successes and joys with them, and then you can support them to make meaningful change where it's needed for their development. By participating in this training, watching the videos, and completing your planning booklet, you're taking a further step in understanding and supporting your child. Thank you for making the time to do this. Autism means something different to each person with this diagnosis. While these training videos will support you and add to your understanding of autism, my goal with this training is to look beyond the general understanding and stereotypes around autism and think more specifically about what autism means for your individual child. So why is it important to understand autism? It helps you understand who your growing child is because of their autism. Helps you understand their behaviours and the way they react to things, and it helps you understand how their brain is working. Autism is a spectrum, so every person on that spectrum is a complete individual. Every individual with autism has their own likes and dislikes, their own interests and own strengths and challenges, their own unique personality. There are also some common similarities or characteristics too. We'll explore those in the following modules. A child with autism is like all other children. Your child needs love and security, to be accepted as an individual. Your child likes to play and have fun. Your child is learning and developing and has likes and dislikes. These things may look different for each child, but they're no less meaningful. They're just as meaningful for a child with a neurodiverse brain as a child with a typically developing brain. One of my favourite sayings is that it's different, but not less. We're going to take a bit of a look now at your child's strengths and interests. It's so important to celebrate the strengths of your child. What are they good at? What do they like doing? What do they want to know more about? What are they interested in? Knowing your child's strengths helps you to partner with them for their development. It helps you to find new ways of teaching them that's already based around what they know and love. Strengths are sometimes linked to the characteristics of autism. For example, your child might have a great long-term memory. They might remember the park with the red slide, even if you don't. They might be able to find their sibling's jumper down the bottom of the garden. And they might be able to recite their favourite book. Your child might also have a really strong focus for something that they're interested in. They might be able to create elaborate buildings with their building blocks, cut Play-Doh into tiny pieces, or watch a bug crawl up a tree for ages. Your child may also have great visual skills. They might be able to do a puzzle without looking at the picture. They might love numbers. They might love the signs and know all of the different shops that you go to. Your child may also have an acute sensory awareness. They might be able to hear the family car coming up the street, or the subtleties in music that other children can't hear. They might taste the difference in another brand of their favourite food. These strengths are a foundation for new learning and a source of confidence for you and your child. You can add to what your child knows already and use their interests to engage your child and get their focus. For example, having a bluey placemat might get your child to sit at the lunch table with everyone else. Let your child know what they can do and set them up for success. Throughout this My Child and Autism online module, Janie is going to help illustrate what we're discussing about autism. I will then complete the Autism and Me planning booklet for Janie as we move through the topics to support you in completing and using the planning booklet for your child.
Janie's a 4-year-old who lives with her older sister Macy and her parents. She goes to kindergarten 2 days a week and childcare 1 day while her parents work and sister attends school. Janie loves caterpillars, jumping and anything sparkly or shiny. Janie's mum and dad have had questions about her development since she was about 2.5, mainly because of her delayed language development. But it was her 3rd birthday when their questions became concerns. On Macy's 3rd birthday, she had 5 friends for a party, asked for a range of different presents, and did a great job thanking everyone for those presents. Janie did not want anyone except her cousin Annie to come to her birthday, and she only wanted caterpillar-related presents, even though she already had a room full of them. She was not able to verbally thank people for her presents. Actually, the opposite. She became very upset when her grandparents gave her a pair of unicorn pyjamas that she wasn't expecting. This really highlighted the developmental differences between Macy and Janie. They were becoming more obvious as she got older, and her parents wanted to know more about why this was happening. They decided to seek advice from their GP, which led them down the path of an autism assessment and finally a diagnosis. Janie likes eating bananas and crackers, taking a bath, playing with her pet dog Jack, and feeding her pet fish Flip. Janie's really good at collecting and remembering and sharing facts about caterpillars. Her knowledge always surprises her parents. Since getting a diagnosis, her family now understand that her strengths and passions in these areas are characteristics of her autism. She does find a few things tricky, things like playing with other children of her age, transitioning from one activity to another, and she's very particular about what foods she eats. Mum and Dad need to dress her and do many of her daily self-care activities for her, and her family are always running late because of this.
So now you've met Janie and you're starting to understand what the diagnosis of autism means for Janie and for her family. Now we're going to look at the planning booklet, which you can fill out for your child and for your family. It's a working document, so it will evolve as the days and weeks and months go by. The first part of the planning booklet is called About Me. If I was filling it out for Janie, I would say that Janie is 4 years old. She lives with her family, her mum, her dad, her big sister Macy, and her 2 pets. And she attends preschool 2 days a week and childcare 1 day a week. So the next part of the About Me section is where you look at your child's strengths and their challenges, their likes, and what kind of supports and services they need in order to go through their day. So think about your child in the morning or in the evening before they're going to bed and they're a bit tired. Think about them when they're going off to preschool or childcare, or when you have a few people over to your home. If I'm thinking about Janie, I think about the likes that she has, like caterpillars, for example. That's a real passion for Janie. She also likes feeding her fish and her dog. She also likes her family very much. So here you're thinking about some of the people, some of the places, some of the objects and activities that your child likes. So some of the things that Janie has trouble with are playing with peers, so children her own age, following instructions, especially if they're just verbal, and she also has trouble with a very limited diet. At the moment, she just likes bananas and crackers. So one of the areas where Janie needs supports and her family needs some strategies to help support her is in the area of everyday living skills. So for example, Janie has a lot of trouble dressing herself in the morning and getting ready to get out of the house with the rest of her family. To finish off this section, you can upload a photograph of your child. You can upload it electronically, or after you've printed the document, you can add it then. This is the end of Topic 1. See you for a more in-depth look into the characteristics of autism in Topic 2.